Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Very good afternoon.
Afternoon, sir.
Very good afternoon.
So, on next Wednesday, what we have to do?
You have to submit material studies, and like you have to submit like at least this thing around 5 6. So they can create 5 6 of material studies. So like one at least one material study a day, like that you can
Yes, sir.
create and submit. So that will be easy also for you. And like initially you can start slowly, and then gradually you can become speed. Well, here's something you can see. It's not very difficult. If you like practice, you can do it very easily, and it's not very complicated. Only thing is to get the look and feel. That's the only thing. Okay, okay, not this one. I'll open.
Yes, sir.
This is clear. Okay. So, yesterday we like yesterday, day before yesterday, we painted manually and created this. So there are multiple other ways to create materials, like the way you want to create it. There are multiple other ways are there. So I should have opened other ways are there. So what I can do, let's pick up any one of them. I can just simply I'll show you what I'm planning. I'll just take this base. Then like this, you can just create a base at once, and then you can duplicate and use it again and again. So when you like showcase it, everything looks aligned properly. The sphere will be at the same place always. So it looks nice. It looks pleasant. So all the template, all the JPEGs will be the same alignment. So that is something also you should keep in your mind. The presentation also needs to be even like it should look even throughout your all the presentation. Everything is center and same placement, similar kind of lighting, similar kind of shadow and all. So that is something we can do. So I just took this thing. So suppose I want to use some texture, or I want to I want to paint, or I want to combine something like texture and this thing. So I can do that. So let's try something. I'll download some texture, like wooden texture or something, wood texture, anything. So this looks kind of fine. So one you will need to keep in mind whenever you are using any texture, make sure the texture is decent, like nice quality and decent size. Otherwise, like I won't pick up something like really tiny. I pick up something like bit bigger in size, 1500 by 1000 pixels. That's quite a big size. So always so that you can manipulate that image and then use it. Bring it that image, copy it from the net, or you can just save it and then open it in Photoshop. Actually, you can just simply right click, copy image, and paste it into Photoshop directly. So Control C and place it wherever into place. Like this. So, but it's even I just clipped it into this shape. I clipped this texture in this particular sphere, but you can see all the lines are horizontal lines, are perfectly straight. That doesn't look nice. Or if I even if I rotate it, still those lines will be straight. No matter what I do, it will be straight, and that gives us a like a very fake illusion. It doesn't look very rounded, spherical shape. So how to like do this? How to like change this thing? What you can do, control, oh sorry, I need to shift my keyboard shortcut. Okay, on. Control, click on your image, this shape, it will create a selection. So now this thing is there, and suppose I want to convert this into spherical shape. There are multiple ways to do it. Like any easiest thing is Control T for transformation, and then you can see there's a wrap option. Click on this, and because of this gray color, I just cannot see it. Control T, it should be visible. So grid by default is in default. It's showing only like corners, not center lines. You can change the grid 3 by 3, 4 by 4, 5 by 5, or custom. The custom, like you can change all the shapes. Like suppose you want to change something, there's an option you can see in place. It makes it kind of circular in shape. These are presets. A squeeze, then modify. You can see if I use it, this one looks like a spherical shape because it's all the lines, all the horizontal lines, they're little curved now. They're basically aligning with the shapes. It looks like curve, illusion. And even if it's a flat surface, that illusion of 3D, illusion of a sphere should be there. I can use any of them to create like whatever I'm planning. You see, I can rotate, create all this thing very easily. Like you see, there's so many options. I can do this, or I can just skip it. By that, I can modify or control C, wrap, 3 by 3, manually modify it. All corners, I'll bring it here and rotate. Okay, it doesn't work very nicely. Control C, wrap, default. I'll create that curvature. Just click and drag. Like this, I can control the entire thing and create the whatever I want, the way I want. I can create that particular shape very easily. But this is like manual labor, manually you have to do and all. But there's another way. You can just simply do it. Right, control, click on the sphere, select this shape, go to filter. There is a option which you distort. Under distort, there is an option named spherize. Click on this. It will show you the preview. If you want to zoom out, you'll see it's basically spherizing that thing and wrapping that entire image around a spherical mesh. And it's uniform. And amount you can see, I can control. You can see automatically, you can see this looks like a sphere. Control D. This all you can see it gives you very nice appearance instantly, and it looks really nice. It instantly you can feel okay. This looks like a spherical ball, and that's what our like whole purpose is. Like you have to convert that a flat circle into a spherical ball. So it looks instantly. It looks like a spherical ball. That's nice. So there's one more thing. Like I'm clipping this thing into this shape. What if I don't want to clip it? So what I can do, control click on this, create a mask and go and click on my mask. You create a basically mask. All black part is not visible, only and only white areas are visible. So masks are something will use in future a lot to create textures, to create patterns, design, or combining multiple layers. Like with the help of this, I can combine two, three layers together, create all those designs. So we'll be using it a lot in future. So any of the technique is fine. Either flip it or split a mask, both are perfectly fine. And try to store your photo, not to like don't apply the mask like this. Don't cut it out. Try to preserve it so that if you want to go back anytime and change it, so you can do that very easily. And plus, one more thing is there. This is something what I personally recommend. Save image. Save to desktop. Saved. And I just drag, drop, open this image, and directly drop it into this CSV. So if you open, enter, you can see there's an icon change. It's a smart object now. Now, if I flip it or I mark it, whatever I do, what will happen? No matter what I do, the base image will always be preserved. So go to filter, click on sterilize, repeat the last command. You can see change or not. I really don't know. I think change. That's strange. It should show me the correct shape. Oh, it's visible, but it's not working very nicely. Okay, bad idea. Bad idea. But usually we can use, like suppose we like you bring some texture, overlay it or change something. That time it works beautifully because I can double click and go back to my original image and modify it anytime. So it's a separate file altogether. So it will be stored always. So I'll undo it. I'll just undo everything. So now I have this spherical ball. One more layer. Either I can flip or I can just alt, drag, drop on this. It will duplicate the mask automatically. B. So I need to like align the lighting condition for all from all other source. So what I'll do now we'll start using this blending mode. So to make anything lighter in color, take that brush mode, pick a soft brush, take the epic one like somewhere mid tone, and change this layer blending to screen. You can see it's layer blending under. This first two are basically normal mode. This is to darken your layer. This is to lighten your layer. This is to combine both the layers. These are like basically you can see mathematical expressions, difference, exclusion, subtract, divide. Like it will subtract those color from this and extract like exclude that particular color, or it will show only the different color, and this is to change the color. So all you can see there's a line. So these are like separate sections for separate things. Okay, recording is on. So I'll change this to screen. Screen to make anything lighter in color without changing anything, and multiply is to dark any of the anything. So I'll make it lighter. I'm painting only it's the same color with screen. Then one more layer, alt, drag, and duplicate the mask, and I can keep the same color, change the mode to multiply this time. You can see dark is just simply adding darkness to the corner. If I want to make it even darker, I can pick a darker color, darker shade. Slightly darker. make it dark. And similar tone, like this part is a highlight, and then we have this blended color. You can change it very easily. Like similarly, you can, like if you can want to do, you can use simple black and white as well. You can see if you do the exact same thing, black, and then if I create another layer, so go to full white, this to multiply, and this one is to screen. If it's 100% white, okay, makes this white. This is how it works. So delete, delete. So I feel I need little bit of darker tone, more darker tone, because we is saturated. Just reduce that. I'm using black without any blending mode. First, I use this blending mode, so I retain all the colors, because color is something like we have to keep very we have to be really cautious about it. We have to keep all the colors and make it natural looking. And added this. Then, then finally, what I can do is this whole group, right? So, this entire group. What I can do, I can just simply select everything one more time, or except the shadow. Select everything. Control G to create a group. This is my main group, and this is like whatever this is like wooden thing. Name it properly, and select this group and apply a mask. So I'm applying, I can apply a mask on a layer, or I can apply a mask on an entire group as well. So now what I'll do, I'll go and pick a solid brush and pick black color. Just because right now you can see it looks way too sharp and clean and round. It doesn't look natural and doesn't look very interesting. So what I'll do, I'll add some corners, like some artifacts, some unevenness, just to make it look natural. And because these are plants, right? So I'll add those gaps. Zoom out, you can see. So it started looking like it's wrapped around that spherical shape. This line. And suppose your sphere is absolute in center. If it's in absolute center, you can use symmetry as well. There is an option for symmetry, vertical, horizontal, all this symmetry is there. So if you want, you can move and then make it perfect symmetry, and then use brush these. You see, you can use symmetry and create any design. So it makes your life way easier. Suppose you want to just replicate the same shape, you can do that very easily. Okay, now I just added those cavities, enhanced those cavities. So switch off the I don't want it. I'll create one more layer and alt drag drop on this. This is my main layer with alpha. This is a separate layer altogether. So, but this alpha, if I alt and click on this, I can see it's a perfect circle. So what if I want to incorporate this like these lines as well in there? So what I'll do, I'll press Control, click on this mask. It will create a selection with for all the white area. Then Control Shift, click on this mask. So it will create this entire mask and remove all the white area and fill. Sorry, Control Shift I, invert it, fill black. So it's outside in this. Okay, minus this. Yeah, just minus it, fill black. Control Shift to plus, Control Shift Alt is for minus. I just created a minus in this alpha, and now I can go V. If I want to add any detail, you can see if I print anything, it won't go. So this all these sections, this slightly grayish value must be there. So I have to change it, and I can modify things very easily. So let's see. So now I want to like add some like lighter tone here. Just like because light is from this direction, so this part will be a little bit lighter in color. So I'll go to screen, then change. Let's say pick this color, maybe a little bit darker color. So it's not doesn't look that. Oh, it's a hard brush. Change to soft brush. Add slightly highlight. And add slightly highlight. You see, if I want actually because light is coming from this direction, it will bounce us from this lower edge, enhance it slightly. The detail. And this is like very clean wood. And if I want to make it really dirty or something, I can do that as well very easily. I can just simply add one more texture. So let's go and search because this is really clean. Let's search for dirt map, dirt texture. Sorry, dirt texture. So I have you can see a lot of texture. So traditionally we can use anything. There's no limit. So, but what personally I prefer, either I find something similar to that color or whatever thing I'm looking for. Like maybe I'm looking for some patches or some color tint or maybe some scratches or maybe some soil or dirt or maybe moss something. So I'll just pick that particular texture. Like this is like this thing, copy, control V, paste it, just, just increase the size, fill into this, alt, and fill that section, and then blend it. Because all these layers for blending. So soft light usually works beautifully, you see, and then reduce opacity. You can see we got all these dirt on this particular surface. And if you feel this particular color is making this thing way too saturated, you can reduce saturation of the particular layer, or you can add a separate, select the mask, add a adjustment layer, use saturation, reduce the saturation slightly overall. So like this also I can control. And if I want to add more details, I can add more details. Let's add something like this. Copy, paste it, alt, drag drop, mark, use the same mark, and if you see now, if I but I want to that's a base. Alt click on this, it will sorry, shift click on this, it will okay, it will show the entire thing without the mask. So I want this part on this section. But if I try to move it, its entire thing is moving. So how to control this? You can see in between these two, this layer and mask, there is a link, chain link. If you just simply click on that, so now these two are not linked anymore. So you can move the mask separately, layers separately. So your mask is independent, layer is independent now. So if I want to add anything, I can do that very easily. I can like scale it down, scale it up. Then again, I can link it back if I want. Then I want to darken this thing. So I'll just click on darken. And from arrow button from keyboard, I can move and check like what I want to do. I want to blend it nicely so I can see. Like with multiply, it will definitely work, but it's way too black. So how to blend it? Reduce the opacity, make it really low. Just the impression. Move it even below this one. Like this, I can add anything. I can remove, and then I can create texture, a nice texture, create a really detailed this thing. And if I want to make convert this entire thing, this is a realistic texture, right? So I can add all these things, or I can want to, or if I want to make it painted style, convert this into a painted or this thing, stylize, or change this thing. That also can be done. I can select everything, Control Shift E. So it will select a copy, merge everything. It's a merged version of this entire sphere. Now what I can do, filter, then under filter, my filter gallery, you can see there is an option called paint dub. Paint dub. It basically create those patches for like average out the color and create those patches. So you can increase the sharpness, decrease the sharpness, brush size you can increase, decrease. So you see it instantly start looking like a painted texture. And smart. Instantly looks like a painted texture. And top of this, I can go and add more details. Or if I want to like blur something, smudge something, create some more details, like make it look like okay, this is really like original piece of art. I can add things, blend things, or I can use simple brush and a soft blend, yes, and blend things, start blending. It will look like it is really painted. And it's like you can see I increase the sharpness, that's why I can see all the sharp corners and edges. So if I like simply remove that, it will look really nice. I can remove it from the base. Okay, I'm adding that mask and removing it. Add it. And there's so many filters, you can modify things so easily. Go to you can see there's the option noise. there is something called reduce noise. Click on this, it will show you the photo actual minus, and you can reduce the noise. Preserve detail, you can reduce, advanced, remove JPEG, you see, remove the JPEG artifact, remove sharpness. For channel also I can modify red, green. If I want to modify anything, then okay. If you see, it was like this. Now it's like just simple white. I will go to HP. It was like this, and then after applying reduced noise, you can see it becomes a little bit smooth, soft in nature. You can add those things, enhance multiple layers, add a lot of details. So there's so many techniques. Suppose you want need to create something painted, like professionally. So that time, and you suppose you are struggling, so you can use this technique, create something painted, and then paint over it. Then add more details. Like suppose you want to enhance uh, this distance, you want to increase or decrease or create something, you can do it. Then paint over it directly to create those gaps. This combination of like everything. So I can enhance the gap very easily, make it a bit prominent. Separate layer. And then if I want to even enhance it more, I'll add one more layer, slightly lighter tone, simply paint over this edges. That gives you that nice crisp depth. Yeah, you see, you can modify things the way you want very easily. It's quite simple, not very difficult, and not very tricky also. So like this, we can create this thing like with this kind of wooden surface. Then we have metal surface. We can create like combine some rocky thing. We can take a rock structure and add some moss. I'll show that as well how to do that. Then create some fire or some other elements. I have uploaded all the references in Moodle. You can go and check, and plus the PSD. So if you want, you can download the PSD as well and check and try it out. So and this is something try to master this thing. Like try to paint as many like materials as possible. By that, like if you create this, it will be really helpful for you in future and like because this is something based off texturing. So that is something you really need to understand, and you really need to know Photoshop very well. So you try it out. If you have any difficulty, any problem, or any specific topic or tool or anything, ask me or explain that. Because now we like for texturing and all, we have substance and all, but most of the companies till date they ask for Photoshop test. When you go for interview or something, they will ask you to give a test in Photoshop, because Photoshop is the base. If you don't know Photoshop properly, it will be very difficult for you to land a job. So make sure learn it properly, create everything, and how to add details, like all these things. You can do it very easily. Let's do one more thing. There's something. Crap.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, like if you're doing like rock uh, base kind of a thing, and we have a brush that says, like it's a custom brush that says rock brush, is it okay to use that?
Hmm. Yes, like definitely, yes, we can use it. Use that definitely, and I'll show you. Like next class, I'll explain how to create your own custom brush, like
Okay,
rock or leaf or anything. I'll show that as well, because those things are something in industry. There will be a lot of time you will be need those things, and because you cannot paint everything manually, right? That's the time consuming process, a waste of time. So you can just simply quickly create a custom brush and use it. That's totally fine.
got it, sir. Thank you.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, yes, tell me.
So after we created the wood or something in Photoshop, can we
Hmm.
export it in Unreal 4 and use it as a texture? Like
Yes, of
we,
course. Like anything, as long as Unreal supports your PGA, your JPEG, your PNG, all formats Unreal supports. So you can import anything into Unreal. That's totally fine.
yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
As Photoshop, you can see if you I try to save this, Control Shift S. If you drop down menu, you can see I have all these options to save as. So I can save it as into any format. So for gaming, usually we use Targa, TGA, because that stores it freezes each and every pixel basically, and it store everything. So we can there's no artifact. JPEG have a high compression, and it creates artifacts. So traditionally we use Targa or PNG. We can save it as and import it to Unreal. That's totally fine.
Yes, sir. So I thought it because when I was using Unreal, there were many types of meshes and these things. So I thought
Okay.
this will be fine.
Okay. Like, what kind of issue you found in Unreal? I
So some of the textures which they give pre-handed are not good. So when we apply them, they just spread out and are not quite easy to use.
uh, um, I'm not following. Like, okay, what is the problem? Okay, so the meeting going to end, so I'll restart it, rejoin it. Okay,
Yes, sir.
rejoin it. It's just going to end.